#1 of the LCUS going into week 6. We're going to find out in just a couple of minutes. But my big question for you, Jeff, is either team going to pick a real tank?
I mean, option 12, after the way that game went, I don't see any reason why they would feel that they definitely need to change something. On the side of Phoenix, it's interesting because we talked about how that game was steady. And so on the side of Phoenix, that could potentially give you an undeserved sense of security where you say, like, oh, well, it wasn't that we were getting destroyed, you know? So maybe we can still just outplay them that way. But
Yeah.
I would not think that that would be the right approach, personally.
hmm Yeah, I would agree. There's a lot of mentality that goes into this, where if you did a good job, um, you did a good job last game. Maybe you're going to end up doing it again, so you're just going to stick with it.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, there are adjustments. Like we see the Kaisa ban here.
Immediately.
So get rid of that piece of the puzzle. But there's lots of Menards can play a lot of, or Klagstrong can play a lot of, assassin, ADC, high damage characters.
Hmm. Yeah, I want to give option 12 credit for how comprehensive that victory was, because we talked about there were moments where it looked like Phoenix was stabilizing, they were getting back in the game, and option 12 just were pretty relentless in keeping their foot on the gas pedal.
It's your funeral.
Alright, so Anivia ban or first pick Anivia, I imagine.
Well, Hohenheim's going to have something he likes to play available.
Right. So we'll see in 10 seconds. Alright.
There it goes.
Alright, so we'll see. Maybe Hohenheim will just grab somebody he likes, get a luck, something like that. Maybe that's what they're discussing right now.
Now, I talked about how option 12, they really shouldn't feel like they need to change things up. But I would love to see them run a different kind of composition here, just to, for their own benefit, to show the rest of the league, we can beat you multiple ways.
Yeah. Do have the Maokai come out, so tankier. Nasus.
Nasus, all right.
That's a good choice. Maokai creates a little bit more of a passive lane.
Mm-hmm.
Plus Nasus is a big split pusher, which Prowler was doing pretty well last game. And Nasus can go just straight tank because he gets his damage in other ways.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be, we'll have to track those stacks up there in the top lane for him.
Indeed. And I actually know about Nasus, so won't just be floundering about.
The Vayne coming out.
That's not surprising. Very similar to... Okay, we'll talk about Nocturne in a second. Very similar to Kaisa, able to roll in and engage, roll out and engage. Not quite the long distance sniping that Kaisa has. Alright, yeah, Vel'Koz is one of Hohenheim's other favorite mid laners, so that's good to see that. Nocturne is interesting. Nocturne, I feel as though would be a pick if option 12 had lost the last game they may have considered. Just because so many people were getting away at so low health that Nocturne's swooping in and eating them alive. But, I mean, on the other hand, Nocturne does still have similar advantages to what the Xerath had, where you can get in that back line, eat anybody who's trying to get away from you. Fear Effect is good too, helps disable the Vayne. So, we'll see what happens. Karma, of course, coming back. Option 12 did really well.
The Caitlyn ban. I'm not sure if that's a specialty of Evil Envy or if that's them trying to avoid the Vayne-Caitlyn lane matchup.
You too will be judged.
But anyone who's ever played Vayne into Caitlyn knows that that can be rough.
Nautilus ban again. Really don't want LNZ getting that. So we'll see what other ban they want to go for here. They're assuming Karma mid lane again, I'm guessing, which means they may want to take a good jungler off the board. Nope, take out the Cho. Alright. Not a bad pick either. Alright, so I don't think they're actually going to pick a Vern. Though if they do, it will be what you said, where they're picking to show they can win with anything.
Yeah, I mean, I believe Troublesaurus does play Ivern relatively often, but no, he'll go back to the Shyvana again.
Alright, go with the Shyvana. I like Shyvana a lot more on this team than on the other team. Just because you've got that incredible Nasus slow.
Mm-hmm.
So top lane is going to be really rough for Maokai, I imagine.
And Shyvana doesn't have to be the main tank here.
And get a little pressure off her. Alright, Sivir. Interesting. Spell Shield would be good at stopping all those Karma shots.
We've got a lot of speed boosts
Mhm.
going on in this game, which is good. We like to see team fights. That's the fun stuff.
Alright, so after interesting pick, it looks like Alan Z may just go with the safe cow. Alright, so 2 real tanks coming out of Phoenix. And we'll just have to see. Support's probably going to be the last pick here for Ashway as well. Does like casters, I believe, primarily. Oh.
There it is, the Zillion. Oh boy, would this be a fun game to be Clagstrong in. Between Zillion and Karma speeding you up and giving you safety. I am surprised by the Sivir pick from Evil Envy because Vayne doesn't have that many good laning matchups. But Sivir is one of her better ones.
Well, I'm not sure if... see, that's one of the things we were discussing before about how lane matchups don't necessarily matter at this level, I would think.
Sure.
I mean, obviously it gives you somewhat of an edge, but at the same time, I think that Sivir has the ability to poke Vayne down a little bit, you know, boomerangs, things of that nature. Not only that, but Alistar preventing Vayne's escapes could be something to think about as well. So we'll have to see. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
one of the reasons Vayne is good against Sivir is because she can dodge like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that Evil Envy might just be using Sivir for the poke potential, and worrying more about the actual engage on there later. But it looks like it's
Yeah,
going to be Karma
absolutely.
support, so that's interesting.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to see Marcus on a different kind of champion there in the mid lane. But yeah, with Phoenix's composition, it seems like they are, you know, just all in. You got the Nocturnal. When you speed up a Maokai like that, it basically becomes an automatic initiation.
I like the artillery options that Phoenix has. Vel'Koz and Sivir can both downtown it pretty well. But of course, like we pointed out, Vayne can dodge around all of that. So I think that Maokai and Alistar are going to have a lot on their plate. It's going to be on them to make sure that the engagements start correctly, which granted Sivir's ult can help them do.
Yeah, Clagstrong, I mean, he has a lot of protection between the Zillion and the Karma, but he is still going to have to be careful because if he tumbles in, you know, when Twisted Advance is available, he's going to get locked down permanently until he's dead.
Yeah, Zillion ulting the Vayne will also be a concern. They're going to have to be careful for that because not only is Vayne slippery on her own, but then you get ulted besides. But, I mean, the big problem I'm seeing with Phoenix's comp right now, just comparing it to Option 12's, I don't see anyone who can actually straight up challenge Nasus.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, there are very few who can challenge Nasus in the late game in any case, but yeah, Maokai is certainly not one of them.
Yeah, I mean, if Nasus starts split pushing, they're going to need to pull 2 people to deal with him, unless something really weird happens. And
Yeah, I mean, if you see Nebulon get really far ahead, maybe he'll be able to handle it.
so I mean, they're just gonna they need to win early game. They need to win it hard because
The Spell Shield, Nocturne Spell Shield will absorb a Q, though, if I'm not mistaken, so that could be very helpful.
I don't recall. It's been a while since I played Nasus, but I mean, there are also
Yeah, same here.
two spell shields on Phoenix could help shut down Karma quite a lot,
Sure.
or Zillion. I think his bomb gets blocked by them.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see. Shyvana could end up going really fast though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of speed boosts on this team for her.
I think that the early game is certainly more Phoenix here.
Mhm. All right, so we both decided that option 12 was going to win these games. After game 1 and with these lineups, would you like to change your vote, Jeff?
No. I'd like to hope that Phoenix. I mean, I didn't want a 1-1, but I also want to see a competitive game. But I think option 12 just looked very impressive in that first game, and I think that their composition here looks pretty good.
I think with all the bonuses that will be able to be put onto Vayne and Shyvana, not to mention, like we said, NASA's just pretty much getting unchallenged by this team comp, will lead to a 2-0 in favor of option 12. But we'll see. Last game of the night, option 12 trying to reclaim first place. And after the skin analysis, we will see if that is correct. Hoping for a good NASA skin. Yeah, we get one. Lunar Guardian's alright.
Lunar Guardian, nice.
Haven't seen that too often. It's generally the Warwick one that I see. Not sure who the mid lane is for Phoenix, but they should probably probably work on that. I mean, I guess option 12
Yeah, I think so.
wins the skins. I mean, Marauder Alistar is pretty cool. But I really love Blood Moon Zillion's animations. I think they're really awesome.
Project Vayne is pretty cool in my opinion as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, that's one of the better Nasus skins. He's got a couple of good skins.
Yeah, I think Nasus has a lot of good skins actually.
So
What's the demon one that he has?
yeah, that's his three-headed dog one. I like can't remember what, like Dread Knight Nasus, one of his really older school
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was my favorite back in the day. Gosh, way back when I first started playing this game.
That was the first skin I ever got, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Because back in the day, my two mains were Brand and Nasus.
Nice. Yeah, I went through a Nasus phase as well. It's amazing how dominant he can become if left unchecked.
Yeah. Then I moved from Nasus over to Shen. That was like way back. That was before Shen got buffed and then nerfed and then reworked. I was playing bad Shen and I was still doing well. So I got to enjoy that with his Scorpion skin. But alright. Oh, this actually looks like a chroma also of the Nasus skin.
Oh, nice. So we'll see if Phoenix can hold Prowler in check.
Yeah, that's going to be a key, assuming that they don't just get completely overrun in general. I would like to see a few better heads-up plays from Tardis and Evil Envy this time. Obviously, there were a couple of unfortunate mistakes they both made.
I mean, they have the potential all-in the bottom lane, but it's also they're playing melee support into ranged, which can always be difficult. So it'll be up to them to try to limit that poke and then also find the right moment to try to make a play.
They do have a little better sustain than Ashway and Klagstrong do, though. So that's something else to keep in mind. But we'll see what happens. Hohenheim might try to steal blue. We'll see. He hasn't tried it yet. He is playing with a champion who can do it. He's thinking about it.
Oh, they warded.
Oh, okay.
Marcus put down the ward. They were expecting it.
Someone listened to the matches from last week. Those of you who didn't tune in last week, Jeff was going, well, why doesn't anyone just stop him from doing that?
Someone finally did.
Alright, so we'll keep an eye out on this bot lane to see how that goes. Top lane will also be interesting, but Maya's probably not going to get too much done there. Hohenheim puts down a ward already, looking for that level 2 or 3 Shyvana gank.
Yeah, Amaya, I mean, he's not going to be able to kill the Nasus by himself, but if he gets that Nocturne up there's a lot of CC between those two characters.
Truffle gets spotted. Isn't interested in ganking though, just wants the Rift. Unlike last game, it's interesting to note, Truffle's went went blue and is, you know, sticking with it. Whereas last game he went red and just stayed on red for a while. So
Swooping down. Oh, just dropping a ward, so he knows now where Nebulon started. And both junglers are around the mid lane. This could get exciting pretty quick. Knockup misses from Hohenheim, and Marcus is just going to try to walk away. He does have the support of Trufflesaurus nearby. Feeds him up. And Trufflesaurus is actually going in for this. I'm not sure about that decision, and he's going to go down here as Nebulon just destroys him with that early game Nocturne damage.
yeah, Hohenheim, despite his emote there, was not expecting that to happen at all. He was like, "Oh, she's going away. Okay, I'm going back. Wait, what?"
Yeah, Hohenheim did manage to nab an assist on it at least, so
Yeah, and you know,
good early start for Phoenix.
get that Nocturne fed. That's what you need. You need someone big and scary moving around so that the other lanes can get ahead as well. There are
People
worse.
always talk about the importance of that first Nocturnal because it's such a long cooldown, but it's such a powerful ganking ability. If you can get efficiency out of the first Nocturnal, it can really be important.
Yeah, I was gonna say using that first Nocturne ult in the top lane would be good, but at the same time, Nessus will be 6 long before Nebulon is, so he'll have a lot of potential to get out of there.
Yeah, they would need him to be pretty far up in the lane, I think. Be able to run him down.
All right, is spotted here.
Yeah, roam from Prowler to the mid lane.
Yeah, interesting. You don't really generally see a Nasus roam.
Oh, the bomb's missed though, so no CC to come out. Prowler will just take 1 CS for his trouble and head back up the river.
Nasus stacks currently at 39.
The bottom lane, Clegg strong, staying pretty even in CS. Just as I look there, Tardis goes in with the headbutt pulverized, but I think that they will be able to disengage Ash away there to provide support. Trying to get the third Silver Bolt, but Clegg strong can't quite get there.
It's a lot of very pointy snowflakes bouncing around down there. Truffle stealing more. Poor Nebulon.
Nebulon does have a level advantage right now.
Might actually find him here.
Yeah, Trufflesaurus, he does have Smite available, so if he smites that big wolf, he'll probably get away on time.
Nebulon going the wrong way.
Nebulon, I'm not sure if he'll find him. Uses the Blast Cone. Oh, this is like 2 trains in the night right now. I don't think either one of them has any idea that the other is there.
Oh,
now they do.
Yeah, now they do.
Will Trufflesaurus take this duel again? Nebulon, he lands the Dustbringer. And Trufflesaurus, they'll just walk away.
Interesting choice doing the shield there.
Yeah, maybe he expected the Twin Bite to come out. In case, now they will just dance over this Scuttle Crab. Neither has Smite available, so I don't think either one is feeling too confident about this right now.
Truffle thinks he's hidden, but he's not. Alright, so they should get
Pocket
this.
comes up to provide support, though, so Truffle will pick it up.
Now Nebulon's going to see his whole jungle is empty.
Well, he saw where Trufflesaurus came from, so he knows that he was in there. Just missed him on the wolves. Truffle did smite that, but Nebulon still would have had time. I was wrong about that.
Gets raptors at least, so that's something. Alright, so not a lot of chaos here. Amaya fighting Prowler in his AoE, that's interesting choice. Didn't hurt too much, but that armor reduction can get pretty painful.
Came out all right. One of the things about Nasus' scaling as well is that the Siphoning Strike is such a huge part of his DPS, basically all of his DPS. And it's not only that it charges up and gets stronger over the course of the game, but it's also that the cooldown is so much longer earlier on that it makes it very difficult for him to take fights.
Nice little attempt to engage there. Yeah, Evil Envy's got to go back. No mana on Sivir. It's not great. But falling behind on gold.
Does a good job catching that inner flame with the spell shield to get a little bit of mana back. It's a fun little mini game that happens with Sivir's spell shield.
Here comes the knock.
Oh, jump in. Tardis gets the headbutt pulverized. Flagstrong is exhausted as well, has to flash away as Nebulon showed up.
Nebulon is about halfway to 6.
Trufflesaurus about the same.
Rotation from Lismachus in the top lane does nothing.
Hohenheim gets to shove the wave in, and we'll get a ward over onto the Raptors, which is exactly where Trufflesaurus is heading right now.
Once again, neither ADC wants to go back. Kalagstrong doesn't really need to. Still reasonable on mana, and Vayne's not that mana heavy when farming anyway. Tardis rotating now. We saw him rotating earlier as Xerath, but rotating as a Bold is rather interesting. Especially considering that Lismachus is 7.
Yeah, trying to make a play in the mid lane, perhaps at least burn that Chrono Shift, but it's not going to happen.
Evil Envy still sticking around.
Nebulon is 6 now, so we'll see when that first Paranoia comes out.
Good patience there by Hohenheim.
Trufflesaurus is in the top lane, and he is going to go onto Amaya, but Nebulon is nearby. He's going to try to finish the blue buff, but that might mean it will take too long for him to get up there. The range on Paranoia is not that far on rank 1. And he's actually... Oh, here he comes. Oh, no, he pops it just to deny vision.
Interesting choice there, but does possibly protect Amaya.
Yeah, I think he was just right on the edge of not being sure if they could turn that fight around if he went in or not. Because he was actually standing still for a moment before casting it.
Did make Truffle waste Ghost as well, so very useful there for them. Still, neither bot lane or neither ADC has gone back. Gold differential, 200 extra gold for Kalagstrong. Cloud Drake is our first Drake for the menu, so we'll see when that gets rocking.
As if we needed more movement speed in this game.
Indeed. Both teams would benefit from that substantially.
Bagstrong looking for a tumble shot, but doesn't quite find it. Evil Envy. Oh! Doesn't manage to catch that interplay. I think he wanted to.
Yeah, he should have turned into that.
They do know he's there. He walked past a ward in the river, but Ashaway not afraid.
Alright, Vayne the first one to go back.
Oh, Nebulon's here. Oh, flash in from Tardis. Ashaway does have flash available. Can they find him? They get the stun down, and he is dead to rights. Great timing on that gank. Nebulon comes around. He picks up his second kill of the game.
Oh,
but look at this roam. The entire squad is here. They jump onto Evil Envy. He is very low. The Wither comes out. Big Q from Prowler, but I don't know if he quite has the damage. He gets the final one down. Meanwhile, Tardis will headbutt him back into the turret. Prowler extremely low, but I don't know if they have the damage. Nebulon finishes off Trufflesaurus, and now Amaya will trade back as well onto Prowler. So overall, that's a 3 for 2.
Evil Envy once again making some interesting choices, deciding that he was dead and wanted to do a little bit extra damage. Just you're under turret, just keep running, man.
Well, I believe he was withered, so maybe he didn't think he had any escape.
Sure, and it just seemed really close, like he was a step away from getting away from that Nasus Q. And then he ended up turning instead. But I mean, really well done by Phoenix and Option 12. I mean, that whole team rotation was really well executed.
Yeah, it ends up being a 2 for 2 after the initial kill onto Ashaway. They get a bunch of gold onto that Nasus, though, from that. Hohenheim actually took that Scuttle Crab away. Now Amaya, I think, is dead to rights. No flash. Not sure it would have saved him anyways. Oh, here comes the Paranoia, though, and they jump in onto the Karma, and Nebulon just deletes him. He has 4 kills. He does so much damage right now. Trufflesaurus actually manages to survive and kill Nebulon, but Tardis will finish him off. Nice double bump from Bacchus. And Kalagstrong, I think, with the Blast Cone, will be able to get out alive. Unfortunately
for Evil Envy, does not have the ult anymore, so not able to do what probably would have been a kill. Calling the rally there, and now they'll point out, hey, Nasus is alone in the top lane.
Yeah, this turret is might not be long for this world.
Yeah, I don't know.
With double buffs now.
Nasus is focused a little bit more on getting the kill, getting the CS than damaging the turret. So the inherent greed of all Nasus players may save the turret.
As a Nasus player, sometimes you don't want to take a turret too early in the game as well, because that, you know, then you don't have a lane to farm in.
Right, absolutely.
But if it would be, oh, it would not be the first turret of the game. My mistake. Option 12 already took down that mid lane turret.
Phoenix actually took on the mid lane turret.
Oh, yep. My mistake.
Alright, Flagstrong is very weak, but able to stay back for the moment at least. Nebulon's ult is almost up. Might be able to collapse then on Klagstrong again, finish him off. I'm sure that's exactly what they're thinking. It should be ready to go once he's done with these minions, these jungle minions here. So I'm hoping to see.
Klagstrong sticks around. He could be punished pretty heavily for this. Does have flash available.
See what happens. Here we go. 3 seconds.
Yeah, on the hunt is also available.
2 seconds.
Here we go. Oh, nice condemn. And now the flash away, but Nebulon just runs him down, and Ash away will follow.
All right.
So Phoenix making plays. That Nocturne pick really paying dividends right now.
Yeah, really good. And, you know, getting all those kills on the Nocturne is just giving him the ability to delete everything in sight. He could actually kill
with that first blood.
He could kill Lismakis before Lismakis ults even.
Oh boy, Hohenheim and Makis having a dual Trufflesaurus shows up though, and that's not a fair fight anymore. Barrier pop, but I don't think it'll matter. Trufflesaurus slaps him down with the claw.
Because, I mean, if Nebulon is able to ult Lismakis and then fear him before... He still has fear, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he manages to fear Lismakis before Lismakis thinks to ult, I mean, that'll be a dead Zillion.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I love the Stormrazor pickup for this Nocturne. It just gives him so much upfront burst when he ults in.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good choice there. But meanwhile, this Nasus keeps growing. 207.
Well, that's a pretty solid number.
Yep, 210 now. Just keeps growing. Yeah, he's at the point now where he can do it every 3 seconds. So that's when the farming just really takes off and goes to a whole nother level. Truffle thinking of stealing here. Good job by Nebulon plotting that ward. They both know they're here.
Hohenheim is first to the roam from mid lane though. Now can Truffle at least force them to give this over to Nebulon? Yeah, the pressure.
That may have actually been the plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't, but it seemed to me like Hohenheim wouldn't have backed off like that if that wasn't the plan.
Well, we're about to see how strong the Nasus is because Nebulon is hanging out and Amaya is going in. Very low mana for the Nasus, so he could definitely be in trouble here, but they won't chase it.
It looks like they're letting it go. Paranoia is available, though, so someone could be in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't go for that. $2,000 gold lead overall for Phoenix. They've certainly had an impressive start to this game. Makis on the roam down towards the bottom. He is spotted out by a pink ward though. And Paranoia is available, so Nebulon will be able to join. And the teleport coming in from Amaya behind them. Option 12 could be in some trouble here. There goes Nebulon into the backline, destroys Ash away.
Oh, they catch the Vayne too!
And they catch the Vayne with the Maokai root. He's trying to get down the damage. The Zillion ult from Makis will keep him alive for a moment. And actually, he might get out. The headbutt actually saves him. No, Evil Envy flashes in. And now they catch onto Makis as well. He has nothing left to defend himself. It's a 3-for-0 in the bottom lane. Phoenix off and rolling.
LNC, get out of there. Just don't even. Don't tempt it, just go.
Oh, here comes Prowler looking to make a play. Nice knockback. And Hohenheim will survive the encounter. Now firing back in a big way.
Good rotation by Hohenheim, keeping that top lane working. Might even be able to bully Prowler for a little bit here.
Yeah, he knows that ultimate is gone.
Oh
boy.
Simple,
I thought that might be a kill, but...
simple geometry. Yeah. Nasus failed geometry.
Yeah,
alright.
You said it, a very intelligent decision by Hohenheim to go up to that top lane, knowing that Amaya was teleporting to the bottom.
Alright, so really good job. 4K gold lead now coming for Phoenix. I just hope they can keep advantage of this as opposed to letting the game snowball a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And more importantly, I think they've got the kills onto the right people. We're seeing the Nocturne do what Nocturne is supposed to do. And also now, Sivir with 3 kills. Marcus is going to have to pop the Chrono Shift just to try to escape Hohenheim. But will he be able to follow? Yeah, he'll survive the next encounter. But as I was saying, having those 3 kills now onto the Sivir is very nice for them as well.
Hohenheim all out of mana. If he had mana, he could have totally won that follow-up engagement. Insane amount of burst damage coming out of LCUS, and he doesn't have any kills. That's what I was going to say. The only person who's missing some money in their pockets there is this Vel'Koz. If Vel'Koz could get 2 or 3 kills. Right, 3-man under tower
They are
here.
looking to dive onto a Maya-chan.
Oh, and
But here
someone...
comes the paranoia. Oh my goodness, Ashway. I feel bad for Ashway at this point. He has been the target of almost every single paranoia the last couple minutes. They will finally get the shutdown onto Nebulon, but he got 2 of his own.
Yeah, Ashway, she's been suffering quite a bit this game. That's the problem with, you know, being one of the weaker support.
Oh boy.
Some of the
On the hunt is Pop. Prowler is so low. Macus doesn't have his ult. Oh, he did have it available just now, but didn't cast it. And Prowler is going to go down as well. Can Truffle Source trade one back? Oh, Prowler, he is going to walk away, actually.
Yeah, they cut off any hope of trying to get up on him. It seemed like there was more concern about Truffle Source. Obviously, big scary woman dragon in your face. But Prowler's gotten away a couple of times now at very low health, so they're doing a good job keeping that Nasus out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Going.
Now we have seen only the 2 turrets taken so far, but I would expect Phoenix to start trying to press that advantage much more in the next few minutes. I don't think that they're going to be able to get this Rift Herald. They have to be careful about getting it in smite range because Trufflesaurus is there and Nebulon is not. Can they finish it? Yeah, they do just get it before Baron shows up.
Good timing there. Now, where do you want to use it? Top lane seems like the best bet, but Hohenheim has it, so Hohenheim may have to take a vacation to the top lane. Looks like
Drake's about to spawn.
looks like Lizmakis
Excuse me, Mountain.
might be able to get this top lane turret. No one's there to contest. Alonzi just doing some ward clear. Doing actual support things as opposed to AP support things.
Yeah, Marcus is going to be able to take down this top lane turret. It's traded for a Mountain Drake. And here goes Nebulon. He's in. This time he goes for Klagstrong and isn't quite able to do the same thing as he did to Ashaway. But the follow-up from Hohenheim just melts the Vayne down. So they get what they came for, even if it took a little longer than they might have expected.
That's a cute animation. I haven't seen Vel'Koz use the Rift Herald before. Holds up a little tentacle. Oh,
So
here comes the Nasus from behind.
Oh, here comes Prowler, yeah, looking for that flank. Hohenheim is isolated with Trufflesaurus up there. Nebulon trying to fight with Prowler, but he has to walk away from that fight. So they pick up Hohenheim, and I believe they'll be able to chase down Amaya-chan here as well.
Yeah, Amaya sacrifices so that Nebulon lives.
In the bottom lane, though, Phoenix got that inner turret as well.
Nebulon got a little too greedy there. I think just constantly beating up on Ashaway is probably the best bet. You know, obviously she's 0-5 and 4, but I believe she got some assists there, so her gold value is going to reset. And not only that, but she can't get away. Whereas Vayne's can turn invisible, roll, a bunch of other tricksy things.
Yeah, if Nocturne lands the Duskbringer onto Vayne, I believe he'll be able to stay with her after that first tumble. The key is going to be if he spell shields the Condemn correctly.
Yeah, meanwhile Karma's got none of that. And I mean, obviously Lizmakis can be a good target too, but he's more than likely got the ult on ready. Whereas what's Karma going to do?
Yeah, if you want just the absolute free pick, Ashaway is definitely the target to go for.
Plus then you get rid
I
of
do
some of the shields and bursts she's got as well. So I mean, it's a good pick. Granted, you take what you can get when you pop your Nocturne ult, but at the same time, I would like to see Nebulon pick some targets a little bit more accurately.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because there is value in getting those cooldowns out of Vayne. He got the heal off of that last one. Flash is not available, so she is a more vulnerable target now because of that last one.
It keeps on farming. Meanwhile, speaking of farming, Nasus is at 400 stacks.
Okay. I mean, we've seen Prowler show up to fights and do some pretty solid work. So right now, though, he's getting beat up by the Vel'Koz a little bit. Exhaust actually comes out from TARDIS. I'm not sure if that was a misclick.
Good, good blast cone there. Get out of there. All right, everyone's here. Looks like there's a bit of a rotation. Just, it looks as though Prowler doesn't think there's going to be a fight. Just going back to farm.
Yeah, he just extended his teleport to get back to range a moment ago. And you're seeing the armor stacking from Amaya-chan right now. It is very heavily physical damage coming out from option 12 with this composition.
And another freaking banner of command. Look, I have no problem with banner of command. I'm just saying, when no one uses it for 3 splits and now suddenly it's everywhere.
Prowler coming down the river. Not sure if he'll look for a flank here. There's plenty of wards for him to be spotted by. And Evil Envy actually going up to meet him. Big wave in the bot lane that someone from option 12 is going to have to go take care of.
Doesn't look like any of them really want to. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let the ADC get it.
But establishing vision control over the Baron right now for Phoenix is... having vision control is almost an objective in itself.
Almost 3,000 health on that Shyvana, so definitely fulfilling her ideal as being tanky.
Now we saw Trufflesaurus build a Blood Razor last game.
Oh.
Cinderhulk this time around. And he walks into about 3 people, has to use the Dragon's Descent to get out, and there goes Nebulon all alone into the backline. He forces a couple flashes, but has to use his own to get back out.
He did force the Zillion ult, though, so that's relevant.
Oh, jump in. Look at that damage from the Vel'Koz. Trufflesaurus finishes off TARDIS, though. This is actually a very even fight. What a double bomb from Makis. That could have really turned things around. Klagstrong, he is trying to run things down. This is a Bane's dream. Nebulon turns around. He wants to fight. He's going to give himself up.
Really good job by that Vayne, showing her maneuverability.
Absolutely played that fight very well. Got in the dream scenario of running down 4 people with low health at the end of a fight. And they'll switch right over to Baron with the Vayne damage and the Shyvana. I think they'll be able to get this. Amaya-chan has teleport, though.
It's also a Jigsa's dream, is 4 low health people. She gets get excited and then it's just a race.
Or even a Tristana's.
Oh, they give up.
Oh. Well, once again, we're going to see a top laner probably sacrifice themselves to stop a Baron. Actually, Amaya-chan, I think he'll be okay. Another great double bomb from Makis. No one was there to capitalize on that one, but... yeah, that double bomb really wreaked havoc on Phoenix in that last fight.
Good job by Amaya getting in there. One of the more successful top lane stalls we've seen today. LNZ, meanwhile, is a little bit of a worse tank than Shyvana now. But we'll have to see how it goes. Hohenheim still doesn't have as many kills as he would like. Nebulon, I think, is, with all due respect to Nocturne fans, outliving his usefulness.
Yeah, he's starting to fall off, absolutely.
So, I mean, I'd like to see... The problem, of course, with his ultimate is that typically it's used in a position that no one else can follow up on. So I'd like to see maybe him save the ult and use it in more of just engaged fight.
Oh, here he goes. He's onto Makis. That is so much damage. The shield from Karma might keep Makis alive just long enough, and it will. TARDIS running in.
The
He's
flash.
looking for a head of Home Rise. He gets it onto 2. Ashaway is taken down to about half health. Trufflesaurus having to run away as well. They are going all in for this, and they will get the jungler. That's the shutdown under Trufflesaurus. 500 gold over to Nebulon.
Nasus is at 500 stacks now and runs away.
And Hohenheim melts Ashaway as well.
And unfortunately, all this excitement, no minion wave. so they have to fall
And
back.
you turn around for the Baron here, knowing that the smite is down. Looks like they're not too interested in that possibility. Now they're starting to mosey their way over there.
Yeah, I think they were more concerned about any possibility of Prowler and Klagstrong turning on them. But of course now,
Spotted out by a ward.
yeah. But of course now this is happening. So once again, people poke the Baron, but don't actually kill him. God, Prowler's going to resurrect and be so angry. Oh, good knockup though.
He's deep into the backline. Prowler is just running down everyone in the backline. They are not stopping this Nasus. He gets 2. He's now on to Evil Envy. Evil Envy will finish him off, but Prowler did so much work in that fight, just tanked up the whole team, killed 3 of them, and allowed the rest of Option 12 to finish off a Maya-Chan in the front line.
And I mean, that was why they didn't seem, or at least I'm guessing, why they didn't think to go for the Baron to start with, is because they thought, okay, we've got a 500 Q Nasus. He's just going to walk into us, and that's going to be the end of our lives. We're going to be in this little hole. And so then, like, all screwed over will they, won't they attempts at Baron, what happens is you go for the Baron too late, and then you get screwed anyway.
Yeah, they did wait long enough that Ashaway and Trufflesaurus were able to show up for the very end of that fight.
But, I mean...
And I think that Phoenix is going to have to... They're not respecting the Nasus enough yet. Amaya-chan dove into the back line there. I think in future fights, he's going to have to try to just peel for his backline, or that Nasus is just going to do what he just did, but even worse.
Yeah, and now we're getting into the problem that we noticed in the start of the game, where this Nasus is uncontested. Not that they haven't done a good job chasing him out of lane, but he just can't be stopped. I mean, he's at 516 stacks. Probably by the time of the next team fight, it's going to be 600. Over 3,000 health. Meanwhile, his comparative tank friends, or tank foes, I should say, are at 2.4 and 2.5. So he's tankier than both tanks.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about in the Champion Select, as you just alluded to, that there's no one on this Phoenix team that can contest him one-on-one. I thought maybe if the Nocturne got fed enough, he might be able to. The Nocturne got fed, but now the Nasus is too. They jump in onto Klagstrong, along to TARDIS, going in with the headbutt, and here comes the Paranoia as well. They can't quite finish Klagstrong, but they do get Ashaway. He goes down again. Poor guy goes down one more time. They also finish off Trufflesaurus in the front line. Flash in! Nice from Evil Envy to finish off Klagstrong. It's a quick 3 for 0. Meanwhile, Prowler is pushing down that bottom lane, though.
Okay, and they look like they want to try to, if not base race, at least objective race. They should be able to get this inhibitor combo. LNZ's willing to tank. I don't know if that's the best idea. Especially not with that bomb. Yeah, now he's got to waste the flame.
Nice job.
Okay, so they should get the inhibitor, but without any sort of speedy recall, they are going to have to get out. Yeah, they leave right now. But, you know...
Magnus is going to try to interrupt the recalls.
570 Q Nasus says hello. 580 now. Alright, so Maya tries...
Maya got back, but he cannot stop this.
Right.
That was a nice use of Redemption by Ashaway. I believe that canceled a couple of recalls there as well. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 on the inhibitor trade. Losing the bottom inhibitor, though, won't quite be as impactful as usual, because I don't think Baron will respawn before the inhibitor does.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think that was a reasonable call. I don't know if all of them needed to go to get that. Rather than tanking, maybe Alonz could have gone back early and just used some of his CC to stop the Nasus or delay him. But, you know, what can you do?
Teleport coming in from Prowler now. He is looking for a 1v1 onto a Maya. Surprise! It's a dog in a bush. Actually, it doesn't look like he wants to chase. He just wants to keep up that split push pressure. Trufflesaurus is down here now, though.
Amaya should be safe.
Just going to chase Amaya. Yeah, just chase him out of lane. But meanwhile, Option 12 pick up a turret in the mid lane. So nice spacing from Option 12 right now. Taking some advantages. And the gold lead is almost completely gone now.
Here comes the ult again.
On the Hunt is popped. The Maokai ultimate. They do go in, and they're just trying to find a fight while Prowler isn't there. They get onto the Vayne, but she is kiting pretty well. Hohenheim can't quite burn her down. TARDIS pops the ultimate, and they're going to keep chasing Marcus. Prowler is there. He is in the backline, though. Everyone should turn and try to stop him, or he will melt them. It's starting right now. The CC chain, though, is it going to be enough? This man is a monster. Evil Envy, he has to get in there. Look at that damage. Amaya is gone. Flagstrong still trying to do what he can from the backline. He jumps in, he goes down, though, and that's both big carries for Option 12 down with the middle inhibitor down.
Can Phoenix get this? Phoenix, all of their ults are on cooldown, so they're just going to have to rely on the fact that they can punch things really good. Ashway is the only one left alive, but she can get a lot of burst out of there really quickly if she wants to. I would go back and heal really quick. They don't have minions just yet, but now they do.
I think this is game.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
They delete Ashway. TARDIS actually went back to stop the minions, and I'm not sure he had to, but it doesn't matter. That is game. What a job by Phoenix, understanding that they were on a clock. Prowler was becoming unstoppable. They pulled the trigger a couple times in a row and find a 1 point compromise in the 1-for-1 with Option 12.
Which keeps Phoenix in first place. So something that I think may have been a bit of a detriment, actually, ironically enough, was that NASA split pushing. Because then you didn't have the presence there for those team fights. Obviously, you know, you're Nasus, you split push, that's your life, you get your big Q, whatever. But then that allowed them, as we saw in the end of that game, it allowed them all to chain CC, focus down that Nasus. Whereas if Nasus had been present in the team fights
at the start of the fight,
right,
yeah,
then they would have had to choose between CCing Nasus, Vayne, or, you know, whoever else. But
well, I think that, yeah, for me, the big tactical error at the end there was we saw Prowler use his teleport just to get back to lane near the end of the game there. And if he has that for the start of that team fight in the mid lane, I think maybe it goes differently.
Yeah, I would agree. You know, you're a split pushing character. You want to keep your teleport so you can be somewhere useful as opposed to being out of the way. But all right, we have an interview here with Hohenheim, I believe, so we're going to hop over there. Hey, congratulations.
Hello, thank you.
That was a fun series to cast, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you made believers out of us. We were doubting you guys would be able to handle the Nasus, but you did, so good job.
Yeah, I had my doubts too. Don't worry.
So, I'll ask you the same question we asked the first set of games today. Just walk me through the thought process going to Champ Select in Game 2. What were you guys trying to do differently?
We know we were going to probably expect some split pushing. First game, I don't know if we got a whole lot of it. Second game, we got a lot more of it. I think that's what we were more prepared for, and I think it showed because we did much better second game than we did first game.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially getting all of those kills early on Nebulon helped a lot with your tempo, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. He really popped off as Nocturne. He did a great job.
Yeah.
Now, I was very impressed by, at the end there, you talked about how you yourself had doubts if you could handle the Nasus. So you guys seem to be very willing to pull the trigger on those last couple team fights. Who is that making that call in that situation?
I want to say halftime it was our top laner, Amayx, or the other half it was just Nocturne saw someone squishy and decided to go for it, and we just went ahead with it.
Yeah, and of course you utilized just Vel'Koz's really strong AoE damage as well with those ultimates. I mean, most of the fights that you guys seem to be in kind of like in the lanes, so you had that very straight, narrow lane of fire, which seemed to help you quite a lot.
I mean, a little bit, not as much as I'd like, just because I couldn't keep up with everyone, so it's like I ended up just ulting Nasus, which I guess isn't a bad thing, but it's like I wanted that 5-man pop off, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask, because I have not played much Vel'Koz. In situations like that, are you necessarily looking for a specific target with your ultimate as Vel'Koz, or are you just looking to spray on as many people as possible?
With Vel'Koz, I see it typically as don't go for someone with a lot of health, because if you did it right, it should all be true damage, so it doesn't matter who you go for, although there's priority like ADC.
Sure.
Vayne's going to do more than Soraka, but like usually they group up together, the squishies, and You can do a bit of damage no matter who you're aiming for, as long as it's not the tank with like 4,000 health.
All right, awesome. Well, congratulations on holding on to your first place, and hopefully you're able to maintain it through the rest of the split.
And hopefully I don't get 4-man banned again. Thank you, guys.
Seems like that happens pretty
Yeah,
often.
that's
but
your
good
life,
luck.
man. It's your own fault.
I've accepted it. But thank you guys again.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You have a good night. All right, we'll hop back to the live broadcast chat for the final here. All right, so we are at the end of this week. Thank you all for watching. We'll pull up, just go to the standings really quick here, just for a mental summary here. So we'll have Phoenix with 1 point, so they'll be at 9. Option 12 with 8. Cowbell got 2 wins there, so they'll move up to 6. But not.
Lantern with 1, right?
Yeah, take the
So they'll be
lantern.
at 7.
Yeah. So it looks like we'll have Cowbell in 4th place now. Take the lantern still there in 3rd. So Phoenix, option 12, take the lantern, and Cowbell. But I do not believe Cowbell has had their bye either. So that'll give White Wolf a chance to come back and try to get back into 4th or even beyond place next week. And then we have Northern Storm will be there with 4 points, but still in 6. Blitzkrieg still in the bottom. All right, so very exciting last set of games there. Great turnaround for Phoenix. Nice to see Northern Storm and Take the Lantern both get a game, and Blitzkrieg still looking for their first win. Jeff, you got any closing thoughts?
Well, first of all, quick reminder that there are no games next week, if I'm not mistaken. Honor thy fathers and all that. Also, White Wolf has not had their bye yet either. So
White Wolf was today's bye.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, it'll be interesting as we head into the final weeks of the split after this short break, because we're starting to get a little bit more separation in the standings, but when you get down to the 3 through 5 range, it's still very close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, however the playoffs set up will be definitely interesting to see, and I look forward to seeing some of these teams match up with a little bit more on the line in best of 3s, which will be good to see when we move into them. But that's it for us. Once again, I'm Kenos here with Jeff, and you guys all have a good week, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Feel free to tune into the Let's Talk About League stream, where I may or may not rant about tanks. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.